We stood in a field at one point in time, puzzled by the foundations without houses, without rubble nearby. There are entire apartment buildings and complexes that have been wiped off the map. And I don't mean the roof got ripped off, I mean the buildings are gone.
Where is this house? There's a foundation and no house.
It's almost just unfathomable.
It's concerning to see the amount of damage here, the amount of people who have lost their homes, and there are just a number of people displaced. There are empty fields, there are houses completely missing, knocked off their foundations. There's a house to my right here that has been pushed out in the road 6 or 8 feet off of its foundation, so it's actually sitting in the middle of the road. There are stray cats and dogs running around. There are cars smashed in the rubble. There are stuffed animals, family pictures, pieces of memorabilia sitting around. Dave Corlett had this idea that he wanted to give back before the holidays to the victims of these recent tornadoes that ravaged much of western Kentucky. Dave is the leader of the Veterans Liaison Group here in the tri-state area, tri-state Cincinnati area. Dave does a lot of things outside of his regular job. So Dave's been a police officer for many years for the city of Cincinnati. But Dave does a lot in the military and veteran community, and I think he quite often does not want to take any credit for the things that he does. First of all, the intention of this trip down to Kentucky was not to make a video about it, and it also was not to take any credit. The intention of this was that Dave wanted to give to these people who have lost so much.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Merry
Appreciate
Christmas.
it.
Buy yourself something nice. Have a nice
In many
dinner.
cases, these are people who had either very little or had nothing to begin with. Then these horrible tornadoes came through, covering 160 or 180 some odd miles on the ground. I will tell you that a lot of these people were very appreciative of our simple presence there, just checking in and asking that they're okay. So Dave raised a few $1,000s from some donors, and along those lines I said, if you go down there, Dave, I'd love to come with you. So I got to ride along with him, and a friend of mine also jumped in and asked if he could contribute some money as well in a fairly significant financial contribution. All said, we ended up with around $12,000 to hand out to people. Bearing in mind 1,900 people in this town alone, Dawson Springs, Kentucky, had lost their homes or were now displaced because of this tornado. When I say displaced, I don't mean their windows were blown out. I mean their roof was ripped off, or the house cut in half, or the house is completely gone. And they've been displaced. The power is out, the gas is off, and it's been this way for weeks. A lot of them were willing to talk to us about their experience, and you know, we were down there for one day and it felt like I wanted more time to talk to more people.
On our screen,
Yep.
it's definitely going to hit.
Yep.
And get to safety. Those little cheap folding doors was right here for the bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
My wife's mother, which is 84, we had her sitting in a chair right here, facing this way. My wife was in front of her, and then I was in front of them. We heard it getting louder and louder, and all of a sudden my ears just felt like you put air pressure.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it just dropped down, clear as a bell, and it hit.
You were here in the hallway.
Yeah.
Here in this space right here.
Right here. And that right here saved us. I mean, this house is made out of oak. They had to dig us out or cut us out.
Just everything.
And it's the little things that people probably just take for granted.
We're not seeing this on the news per se. We're not really seeing much of this on social media anymore. There is other news dominating the headlines right now, and so a lot of these people feel like perhaps they've been left behind.
And they were like, where have you guys been? She's like, well, we've been in Dawson Springs cleaning up all week. And they were like,
Right.
from what? Convinced we were going to war at that point. We weren't able to go volunteer.
I saw an entire train and locomotive lifted off the tracks and moved. I saw cars flipped upside down.
Four by six that went through the house. It busted my washing machine. We heard, you know how a car wash goes,
Yep.
and then a second and a half it was gone. And we come out and it was dark, so we didn't see it.
Couldn't tell.
And then the next day it was different story.
Right.
There was trees across here. There's a big walnut tree there and a great big garage right there. It's been there for a while, so
Yep.
it's solid.
Yep.
It's all gone. Oh, AT&T's phones went off. My dad was calling me and I was calling him. And Trent Okerson out of Paducah was saying 5 miles from Princeton. Princeton's 15 miles from here. And there was a window behind me and glass was flying through it. We just grabbed around them kids when they went to screaming. We didn't grab nothing else.
Yeah.
The mayor took us around for a couple hours and showed us everything. And it's just incredible. It's incredible.
Down there in Massonville, before you get to Arlington, I mean, that was bad too, but not like this. The 2-month-old baby got killed was my best friend's grandbaby.
Oh, that's horrible.
You tell the Cincinnati people, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Then the mayor showed us around. He showed us an entire apartment complex that has been wiped out.
Was this these were buildings? That was a building. There was a building there.
God love you.
Not me. I'm just the messenger.
I love you too.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming down and just taking the time.
Yeah, of course.
Those guys over there from Pennsylvania and Ohio, they brought their skid loaders and trucks and
Yep.
people down. So
Yep.
Yeah.
The good news is that when you show up to a place like this, it restores some faith in humanity that maybe we lose from the everyday interaction with the negative events of the media. There were volunteers all over the place. The organizations that were on hand were religious and church groups, disaster relief organizations. Team Rubicon was there. There were Army Special Forces in plain clothes in the city volunteering. There were the Billy Graham Ministries trucks there. The Red Cross was there in force. There were food trucks. I heard a story about a family or families that are donating their RVs or mobile homes or their campers and fifth wheels to people who have been displaced. They're going to drive these down from New York and New Jersey. There were already a few examples of this already there as we were driving around. You could see these different RVs and campers with out-of-state license plates on them. There were trucks with bulldozers on the back of them from multiple states away, from all over the United States. Single-handed volunteers, small businesses, landscaping companies that brought out their heavy equipment to help clear debris and find people's stuff and clean people's houses up. The need will be, from this point, probably restructuring. A lot of these people were getting FEMA bids or insurance claims that may have been below what their houses were worth or far below what it would take to rebuild their house or significantly repair their house. And again, a lot of people didn't have insurance. Being offered $15,000 for a $100,000 house isn't going to fix anything when your house has been split in half and the roof ripped off, or when the house is simply missing completely.
So rural here.
Right.
But you just never expect it to come literally down through your backyard and be on you.
I don't know how you.
But
No, that's
Kara, I just held on to my daughter. She was holding on to me. She said, Dad, don't leave. I'm not going nowhere. Looked at my wife. I was like, well, here we go. And about that time, power goes off, and you can hear glass breaking, all kinds of commotion, the house shaking, and then you just hear it kind of move off. The apartment complex they're clearing off. We heard all kinds of people crying for help over there. So Jet and I just bolted over there, and I guess from 11 till about 4:30 that morning, we were just digging people out there. Anybody that could yell. The gas mains going off everywhere. The lightning was streaking. I told Jet, I was like, look, buddy,
It's gonna blow up.
I'm like, we're never going to feel it. So if it goes, it's just going to annihilate us all. So we were getting people out there, but
I don't think that from a couple of aerial photos that I saw in the news, I had any idea what had happened here. I don't think I had any idea the scope of this. This was just one town. This was one town out of many that has been wiped out or severely damaged, and it's going to take years. It's going to take years for many of these people to recover from this, if they ever do.
They told us that this house was moved off of its foundation. If you look at the bricks here, that's the corner of the foundation. You can see the edge of the foundation of the house here, and the house is sitting over there. It's a good 15 to 20 feet off of its foundation, blown by this tornado.